Jnana Knowledge Episode 8 Faith in the Guru.
श्रद्धावान् लभते ज्ञानं तत्परा संयतेन्द्रियः ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परं शान्ति मचिरेणाधिगच्छति.
Who do you think among the following is indeed more knowledgeable? A. A school topper who gets excellent grades but is very proud, arrogant and refuses to help anyone. Or a humble student who studies sincerely and helps others to the best of his or her ability but doesn't score top marks in class. Acquiring knowledge is not just about gathering some information and becoming a scholar. Real knowledge requires humility, good conduct and respect for teachers. In this sloka, Lord Krishna says, one who has faith, shraddha, devotion and self-control can easily gain knowledge and thus attain peace. Here are some stories of great people who had deep faith in their gurus and thus attained knowledge. The uneducated scholar. At the holy place of Srirangam in South India, there lived a simple Brahmana. He used to visit the temple daily and attempt to recreate the Bhagavad Gita with great joy. However, he had not had any formal schooling. He could not pronounce the words correctly. People mocked, criticized and laughed at him. But he did not take offense. Neither was he discouraged. As he continued reading, he would get goosebumps and tears of joy would well up in his eyes. At that time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, an incarnation of Lord Krishna who was touring South India, visited the very same temple. Upon seeing the Brahmana, he asked him, "My dear friend, why are you crying? Surely your tears aren't due to any pain or distress. Please tell me which part of the Bhagavad Gita gives you such joy." The Brahmana innocently replied, "I am an uneducated man. I don't know the meaning of the words I read. Sometimes I pronounce them correctly and sometimes not. But I still read the Bhagavad Gita only to honor my Guru's instructions. Whenever I open the Gita, I see Lord Krishna driving Arjuna's chariot, taking the runes in his hands. I feel so delighted seeing how affectionate the Lord is towards his devotees." Appreciating the Brahmana's submissiveness to his Guru and his love for Lord Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, "You are the best reader of the Bhagavad Gita. Whatever you know consists the real essence of the Gita." Speaking thus, Lord Chaitanya embraced him. Lord Chaitanya was actually Lord Krishna himself, who came in the form of a sannyasi. By the Lord's mercy, this understanding was revealed to the Brahmana. He caught the Lord's feet and expressed his feelings. "Upon seeing you, my joy has no bounds. You are the same Lord Krishna." Moral: scholarship isn't essential for understanding the scriptures, but faith in the Guru along with devotion to God is. In ancient India, there once lived a great scholar named Dasarathi. He was a disciple of the great saint Ramanujan Acharya. Once Dasarathi asked Ramanujan to explain the meaning of the final instruction of Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. At the same time, Ramanujan's sister Atulai arrived. Distressed at the scene, seeing his sister in anxiety, Ramanujan asked his sister, "What happened? Why are you so upset?" His sister replied, "Dear brother, my father has sent me here. At my father-in-law's house, daily I had to collect water from a lake which was over 2 miles away. I bought water twice a day, but the road to the lake was very rough and deserted. Therefore, I get scared and also really exhausted with the effort." Ramanuja listened patiently while his sister continued, "I told my mother-in-law about the difficulties, but rather than sympathizing with me, she became enraged and told me to get a servant from my father's house for the job. Having received such ruthless treatment, I returned to my father's house and he suggested that I approach you for help." Ramanujan Acharya immediately responded, "Dear sister, please don't worry. I will send along with you a Brahmana who will fetch water for you and will cook food as well." Saying this, he glanced at the scholar. indicating that he was supposed to accompany his sister as a servant. Dasharathi gladly followed Atulai to her father-in-law's house. There he began working in the kitchen with great care and attention. In this way, 6 months passed by. One day, an assembly of people gathered in the village to attend a lecture by a great scholar. Dasharathi was also among the crowd. In this talk, the speaker gave so many false explanations of his classic sloka. Dasharathi couldn't restrain himself after hearing such misinterruptions. He stood up and pointed fingers. At this, the speaker got furious and shouted, "Stop! You too? How can a servant like you explain the scriptures? Go back to the kitchen and display your talents there." Without being annoyed or discouraged, Dasharathi calmly went on explaining the sloka's correct meaning. His flawless presentation based on many scriptures left everybody in the assembly, including the angry speakers, speechless. Realizing his mistake, the speaker begged his pardon and fell at the scholar's feet. The speaker asked, "How is that such a learned scholar and devotee as yourself is doing such menial work in the kitchen?" Dasharathi replied, "I am simply following the orders of my guru." When all the people learned that he was Dasharathi, the famous devotee scholar, together went to Srirangam and met Ramanjana Acharya. They said in unison, "O great saint, it is improper for your worthy disciple to serve in the kitchen any longer. He is so knowledgeable, yet his heart is set of any pride. Please allow us to bring him back to you." Ramanjana Acharya was very pleased to hear the people praising his disciple in such a way. He replied, "I shall come with you to bring him back." Ramanjana Acharya then personally went to fetch Dasharathi. Dasharathi bowed down to Ramanjana, who then embraced and blessed him. Together they returned to Srirangam. Ramanjana Acharya then explained to Dasharathi, Lord Krishna's final instruction to Arjuna is the Bhagavad Gita, which reveals how a devotee completely takes shelter of the Lord by his selfless and humble service. Dasharathi received the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita from his guru. True disciple doesn't doubt his guru's instructions but accepts them with faith. The uneducated Brahmana followed the instructions of his guru, although others mocked him. Dasharathi took up the manual services Ramanjana Acharya assigned to him, although he was a great scholar. In this way, obeying and keeping strong faith in the instruction of teachers enable us to become recipients of divine knowledge. Apart from faith in our guru, what else is needed to acquire knowledge? Yes, you guessed it right. Devotion to God. That's our next topic. Heartfully thank Gaurangadas Prabhuji for giving the key slokas of the Bhagavad Gita in simple stories. And please like, share and subscribe and wait for the next video. Thank you.